There's a device that I've been using called a Whoop.
Hello, and welcome back to IGOW3. Field Correspondent Danny here, on location in the IGOW training grounds to introduce weekly challenge number 16, the Pyrodrone loop ladder. This week you will need to set up a triple gate stack obstacle, also known as a TGS. This is simply 3 IGOW approved gates stacked on top of one another. You can use PVC to make the TGS like I have here, or you can open up a cube gate to form a TGS, or you can create your own TGS out of whatever materials or gates you have on hand. As long as each gate is between 28 inches and 16 inches on the inner diameter, and the bottom gate is no more than 12 inches off the ground, your TGS will be IGOW approved. We're moving into the later stages of the game now, so the challenge is going to start to bump up in difficulty. So let's throw it back to Dan and Liz in IGOW Studios so they can go over this week's challenge requirements.
Thanks, Field Reporter Danny. That's right. In the first 15 weeks, we covered most of the standard FPV freestyle maneuvers. So now, it's time to start increasing difficulty of the challenges by requiring that tricks be done on obstacles that require much more precision. Like the level of precision required to be able to ship out domestic orders over $60 for free on the same business day the order is placed, like this week's featured sponsor, Pyrodrone.
Pyrodrone is the leading source of professional drone racing parts, gear, and accessories. They strive to deliver the latest and most reliable gear available on the market and provide the highest quality parts at affordable prices. Frames, motors, batteries, straps, and more, Pyrodrone is truly a one-stop shop for all things drone racing.
Pyrodrone's flagship Hyperlight line follows through on all of those goals. The Hyperlight frames and motors are some of the highest quality and most affordable competitive drone racing parts in the industry. The Hyperlight floss frames are some of the lightest and easiest to work on race frames on the market. There are over 70 different size and kV options of the Hyperlight motors, so you can find the perfect motor for any build. Pyrodrone also makes one of the largest FPV backpacks on the market, and they will be releasing a version 2 of their giant Pro backpack in just a couple months. I just recently purchased all of my parts for my new 5-inch race build from Pyrodrone. I went searching all over the internet for all of the different parts that were recommended for me, and Pyrodrone was the only place where I could find all of those parts to be able to get at the same time, and they offered free shipping. So it was a wonderful deal, and I'm really happy with my purchase.
I also always check Pyrodrone when ordering any FPV gear because their prices are often lower than the bigger Florida-based retailers, and they have a better loyalty program. Also, their warehouse is located in California, which leads to faster shipping times for those of us on the West Coast. Pyrodrone sponsors some of the top FPV racers in the game. Their official sponsored team pilots are Dolma FPV, Hyper, Leviathan, Wild Type, Neon FPV, and the team captain, AK. Pyrodrone is owned and operated by Serge Marichilian, and Derek Brown is the customer service manager and second in command. They make a great team and work together to make sure that the company runs smoothly and all the customers are happy. Huge thanks to Derek Brown, who was crucial in setting up the IGOW3 sponsorship for Pyrodrone and West Coast Throwdown. Okay, now let's jump into the requirements for weekly challenge number 16, the Pyrodrone loop ladder. Requirement number 0 is that your video is a maximum of 60 seconds long and you follow all of the IGOW3 video posting rules.
Requirement number 1 is that you must set up an IGOW-approved triple gate stack by placing 3 IGOW-approved gates on top of one another. The gates can be a max of 28 inches and a minimum of 16 inches, and the bottom gate must be no more than 12 inches off the ground. The TGS can be set inside or outside.
Requirement number 2 is that you must perform 2 back-to-back power loops through the TGS. The first loop must be started by flying through the bottom gate, and then you fly upside down and backward in a looping motion through the middle gate, and then you finish the first loop and start the second loop by going through the bottom gate a second time. Then you loop up and go upside down and backwards through the top gate, in a looping motion and finish the second loop by flying through the bottom gate forward again for a third time. After you've completed both loops, then you must perform a celebration flip or a celebration roll. This all must be done in one continuous clip with no bumps or ground taps.
Requirement number 3 is that you must perform 2 Maddie flips back to back through the TGS, similar to how you did your power loops. You're going to start your Maddie flip through the top gate, going through the middle gate, back up through the top gate, then starting your second one, going down through the bottom gate, back up to the top gate, and finish it off with a celebration roll or flip. This must all be done in one continuous clip with no bumps or ground taps.
This week's challenge requires that you take maneuvers that you've already done on larger obstacles and perform them through gates on the top and bottom of the tricks, which will require much more precision throughout the entire trick. You can practice in the simulator to get the basic stick motions into your muscle memory, but this challenge will still probably require many real-life attempts for most pilots, so make sure you leave yourself enough time to try a bunch. Good luck and happy whooping!